this is kind of our non-spoiler general thoughts on The Little Things. Brand new movie with Denzel Washington, Jared Leto, and Rami Malek. Star-studded cast right there. Star-studded main characters. And this was a very interesting looking, based off the trailers, thriller mystery. And Mo, go ahead and give your kind of general thoughts on the movie, then I'll give mine.
Okay, so I think during the whole trip of the movie, it it did a good job at like raising the intensity and raising the speculation of certain people because it is a crime thriller.
Mm-hmm.
And the suspense was pretty good in some areas. And I really like Denzel and Denzel's character in this, and him along with I forget what's his name again.
Rami Malek.
The two, yeah, they both did a really good job working together as co-cops. They're two. What you'll kind of get into is just that they're two very different cops, but very similar. But you just don't. You start to get the depiction that they are really closely related and similar down the road. But like, it really is cool to watch. And Jared Leto, dude, he was cracking me up. And like,
I've got some thoughts on him in a second after you're done.
Yeah, Jared Leto, what an amazing performance. He's very good at playing. I mean, he played the Joker for a brief amount of bit, but he absolutely killed it in his as his character. And every time he was on, I wasn't rooting for him because you'll get to that. But like at the same time, I was like, he's being kind of annoying, but he's kind of being funny too.
Yeah.
Like you could tell he liked playing his role. So yeah, throughout the movie, it was intense. There weren't that many other characters in this movie.
No.
You didn't really get along with a lot of other different characters. It was really heavily developed on these three main characters here.
And there was other characters, but there wasn't they kept them side characters.
Yeah.
They didn't try to do too much with them.
Yeah, it was. I don't even know, to be honest. Do you know what the budget was for this movie? Because
I'm not sure.
They really were not. Didn't seem like they spent too much money and didn't have to spend too much money on it because they really weren't at that many different settings and places. And,
I'm sure it was a somewhat low budget movie. I honestly think the biggest part of the budget was probably getting all three of those actors in the movie.
But I would just say that overall it was a pretty entertaining movie. I think towards the end there were parts where I was kind of like underwhelmed. But I think after I watched it and I was trying to get things figured out and explained, I started to appreciate it more. But I still am it's still a little fresh, and I might need to sit back on it because some things I was like, it's just kind of eerie. I couldn't get a good, like, I'm not saying I wanted a happy ending or a sad ending, but it just didn't hit completely like I thought it would. But other than that, it was a really entertaining movie.
So what would you give a score for it if you gave it a score?
I'd give it a solid 7 out of 10.
Okay.
Right now.
Okay, that's fair. So first of all, I really enjoyed the movie. I definitely had some issues with it, but I was very entertained. The first half was a little slow, but the second half really picked up and got intense as things start to happen. Similar to you, I felt as though the ending was a little bit underwhelming. Again, we're not gonna spoil anything, but I was just like, that's it? I don't know.
That's literally what I was saying. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah. Like I wanted there to be a little bit more than how it ended, but from a performance standpoint, all of the performances are just fantastic in this movie, as you can expect from Denzel, Jared Leto, and Rami Malek. A few things I noticed. Here's kind of what I want to say on Jared Leto. Jared Leto is such a freaking good actor, dude, and he needs his respect. And honestly, the hot take, I think his Joker's actually good. He just did not get the screen time he deserved. And like some people just don't like his Joker, but I think a lot of the reason people don't like it is because they didn't really get to sit with his Joker. But I think his Joker deserves respect, and I think just as an actor, he honestly like in this movie channels a lot of that. Not necessarily what he did in Suicide Squad Joker, but it honestly reminded me of like the psychopath side of Joker, which he didn't really get to explore all that much in Suicide Squad because he was more just kind of a gangster who was making all these trades and doing this stuff with different criminals in the city. But I feel like he channeled a lot of this. Like you could tell this dude had some stuff going on, or at least you thought you did. Obviously, I'm not going to spoil if anything happens or doesn't happen or whatever. But like his acting is just incredible. So that really stood out to me, Jared Leto, and as his character becomes more prevalent in the movie, it just got really interesting to me. And then Rami Malek. Every time I've seen him in anything since Bohemian Rhapsody, I literally just see him as Freddie Mercury, and I just can't get it out of my head, bro.
I also whenever I see him, I also go straight back to Night at Museum.
Oh yes,
Night Egyptian.
yes, he plays the Egyptian. I forgot about that. Yeah, that is him.
He has some pretty good roles, iconic roles.
Yeah, no, he does. But he's a fantastic actor too. I also had a thought during the movie. He would be such a good like horror actor because he honestly has some like I know this sounds bad, but like his face can be kind of creepy at times when he's just like being himself.
Well,
and so I feel like. No, go ahead. Say well.
Isn't he in No Time to Die?
Yes, he's the enemy in No Time to Die. He's the villain in No Time to Die.
There we go.
Yeah, so I think that's a start of something. But I mean like a full horror movie. I think it'd be awesome if he jumped into that. But
put him Insidious.
Yeah. And then obviously Denzel is always Denzel. I feel like in a lot of movies though in recent years, he's played like similar characters in most of his movies, but you always know what you're going to get for the most part, and like he's consistently
just like Adam
great.
Sandler.
Right, but
you're going to get when you have Adam Sandler.
Right, but Denzel's like consistently great. So overall, I thought the crime part of it was very interesting. Again, I had my issues toward the ending, but overall, I would give the movie like a 7.5. I had a lot of fun with it, and it got very interesting in the second half. Other than kind of. I felt like it was a little bit anticlimactic, but overall, I recommend this movie. It's definitely worth it. After I just said it's anticlimactic, but nah, for real, I do still recommend this movie. It was still a lot of fun, and I would give it like a 7.5, like I said. So.